What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. First, may I say to most of you, if not all of you, if you're watching this late or the day after, Happy New Year. Hopefully your 2017 is good. 2016 was a very, very topsy-turvy year for me. It was both one of the most incredible years of my life. YouTube just carrying on as, the behemoth train that it is, allowing me to live this life. But also, a lot of personal issues throughout the year that I've been just struggling with, and that's something I need to hopefully deal with early 2017 and get over and done with. For me as well, it was a good year for fitness for me. I don't know if you guys even know or even care, but I've talked about it a lot before on this channel. Like doing this job, it can be super unhealthy. I put on a lot of weight this year, and then I lost a lot of weight late this year, and then I moved house, and I didn't really do much after I moved. So I put back on a bit of weight, not a lot of weight, but I don't want to fall into old habits. So I did. I've already gone back to a gym. I found a Virgin Active about a 20-minute drive away from where I live. So I went there, 2 days ago by the time you're watching this, and my body is sore. First workout, always a full body workout to get the muscles used to, moving around and lifting weights and stuff again. And hopefully I can continue that on now through and into the new year and get myself just back in a position just where I'm happy. I always had aspirations when I was younger of being like not a bodybuilder per se, but I had a set physique in mind that I wanted to go for, and I don't necessarily want to get there still now, but I just want to be not ashamed. Not that I am ashamed, because I'm very much of the opinion that you should be happy with what you are and the skin that you're in, because ultimately you've put yourself there. But I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy with my vanity, essentially, and 2017 is hopefully gonna help me work toward that. Now, what you're seeing on screen right now, guys, is me completing some of the Russian and Dutch SBCs. I didn't show the teams because I always found like when I show the teams, it's just kind of pointless. Just know that I either did the teams for free with players that I already had in the club, or I had to buy one or two players and I didn't spend more than 500 to 1,000 coins per player. I think any team that I do where I have to buy like the whole team, I think I'll show the team just so I can show exactly how much I spent, so on and so forth. But today's episode, initially this was supposed to be my first set of FUT Champs games. I thought, I'll do these SBCs, I'll throw them in there. But then Thursday night, I started playing Division 1. I just wanted to get, make sure I was very comfortable with my team and get into a rhythm with the players that I use, and then take that into FUT Champs. And I ended up playing 6 games in divisions, which we're going to see today. And then EA obviously dropped some marquee matchups. They dropped a couple of new SBCs, and I just sat there and ended up doing quite a lot of those. But I'm in a position now where I've cleared out, I haven't cleared out the club, but I've definitely sold on a lot of the more valuable assets that I'm not using right now. And the reason why I did that was just because I don't know why I do things sometimes. Initially for Team of the Year, but you'll see in the next couple of episodes I make a very, very big purchase, and all my coins are gone. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know why. Anyway, guys, some comments from the last video. I picked out a whole bunch because I know today's video is like 32 minutes long because I edited it up, and we're there. I picked out a whole bunch of comments, but I'm probably not going to get through them as per usual because I always take way too long answering the most simple questions. But we're going to try and get through as many as we can here right now and today. And the first one is from Christian Bender, and he says, after scoring a goal, players can do a front flip celebration, but not every player is able to do it. Some level of agility is necessary. Players closely under that edge of the stat aren't able to do the front flip celebration normally, but sometimes when the game feels awesome for you and you score a goal with that player, you are able to do the front flip celebration with that player. Maybe because momentum handicap scripting or morale is on your side, and the agility stat as well as any other stat of that player is boosted about the necessary level. So last year, one of the reasons why the chem issue was figured out was due to Righteous Onyx on Reddit and a few other dudes basically taking the LB step over and recognizing at what point you could and couldn't do it, and how the stats were manipulated and influenced by chemistry styles to do so. If what you're saying is true, it could very well be another test that could be done. So any of you guys that are hardcore Redditors, if Righteous Onyx indeed is watching this video, or any of the guys that were like the founders of discovering Chemgate, if this is actually true, that would be really good test to find, literally to figure out, hey, this guy, even with a chemistry style, is under the agility stat to be able to do said celebration, and then boom, I scored a goal, 3-0 up, everything's going great, and he can do the celebration. That will be a step towards proving and finding reason behind the thought process of scripting handicap and momentum. So that it's definitely I don't want to like always bark on about this subject, but it's hot topic right now in the community, and I have a lot of opinions on the matter. And on that matter, there was a thread on Reddit today that I was reading regarding stamina and fitness. And I've barked on about the reason why I love Bailly and Smalling so much is because of their stamina levels. For centre backs, they have some of the highest stamina levels. Something that a lot of people don't know, and that I did know and didn't really piece together with me enjoying players with high stamina, is that your stamina levels are directly related to your in-game stats. We don't know how much they deteriorate by. Like, if you have 90 pace at 99 stamina, you obviously have 90 pace. But at 89 stamina, we don't know how much that detracts to. It might be 89 pace or 88 pace, it might be 82 pace, but it definitely, like, as your stamina goes down, your ability to play the game goes down. Do I think that this is fair? For physical attributes, sure, because, players, they get tired towards the end of the game. They can't run as fast or as for long, and I think that's very fair and very good to have in the game. But EA themselves said, like, your passes will be worse later on in the game, or with low stamina, not necessarily later on in the game, because you can enter a game at minute 0 with a half stamina player, right? But the EA themselves said, like, stamina affects performance, and a lot of people, like, how on earth did this guy come back from 2-0 down or 3-0 down? It genuinely could be something to do with, and this is for you guys who struggle a lot late games. It could just be because you have low stamina players. Just as I say, one of the things that I look for in a player is high stamina levels, and one of the things I think why I've really enjoyed these SBC cards and why I don't think that there's a problem with informs is they offer much higher stamina than other cards. Me personally, I've got a few players in the club that I know they get low stamina by the 65th minute, so I sub them out. After I sub them out, quite often the players that I sub in are superstars for me. When I bring in Heung-min Son or a Mane or a Theo Walcott or a Firmino, they just outperform, and it gets me back into games. And there could be games where I'm just out of the game for like the first 60 to 70 minutes. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, I bring on a couple of substitutes and boom, I take over. Alternatively, it could be a case where I'm against a guy who's got a team of players that has low stamina levels and he just doesn't know or understand how important the stat is. And he could be a better player than me, and as the game wears on and his stamina levels dip, and I've got players with high stamina levels because it's something that I've found has just been effective for me this year, it could really help me get back in the game. And the thread, it didn't really gain much traction at the time of making this video. Hopefully it's got a lot more traction now, because I'd love to go and read some of the responses. But the guy was like saying, like, with your winger, you bomb up and down the field a lot, you're sprinting a lot, you're using him a lot. He burns stamina and energy a lot quicker than a fullback or a centre back. So it's not too unrealistic to be like, oh hey, in the 70th minute or 75th minute, this guy's Insigne with his 95 pace was caught up by Leighton Baines with a shadow card who gets like 88 pace, because Leighton Baines will have incredible stamina levels still, like 70-80% stamina levels, whereas Insigne will be down in the 20 to 30% mark. How much of an impact will that have? So it's definitely something to be considered. It's definitely something to be tested out, and literally I might like have a look after this weekend league at building just a high stamina team in the BPL, like regardless of stats and attributes and stuff. Just build a team that has everyone like well above 90 stamina, including the attackers, midfielders and stuff, and just see if it bears an impact on how I play, because if it does, it could definitely be an important feature going forwards and be able to help people in in their progress within FIFA. So there's that. Nathy says, hey Nep, do you think there should be draft tokens in the catalogue? Why not? Literally, why not? there are coin unlocks in the catalogue to the tune of about 80,000 coins, I believe, if you get every unlock and then play all the games. Why not a draft token or two? You know, you reach level 25, boom, you can purchase a draft token from the catalogue. 50, boom, another one. 75, boom, another one. 100, boom, another one. 60,000 coins for someone who's played up to level 100 in your game. Come on, EA, let's do that. Daniel Plunik says, hi, Nep, just a quick question because I haven't seen anyone talking about this. So obviously the Weekend League month had 5 weeks. Does that mean that the top 100 players get 55 red cards because 11 informs times 5 weeks equals 55? That means also that players who got elite have to get 15 red cards. I'd really like to hear your opinion on this. I don't think you're right. I think it will still be the same rewards of a 44 inform pack and a 12 inform pack for elite, and a 3 inform pack for gold, and the 1 inform pack for a silver and a bronze. The sad thing about this month that it's 5 weeks is there are 5 weeks worth of informs, to the point where by the time the red inform pack comes out, you could finish Elite 1. And this is where I have my biggest problem with how the Elite rewards are structured. You could finish Elite 1, but like it's going to be about 170 or so wins to get into top 100, right? Let's say you get 170 wins, but you finish outside the top 100 on skill points. You could finish like literally just outside the top 100 and get the 12 red inform pack. And it is very, very plausible that you could get 12 81 rated players. Because it's a 5 week month, there are 5 weeks worth of informs in packs, meaning you have a far, far higher chance of getting a pack worth of low rated players. Even to the point where if you finished in the top 100 and you get the 44 inform pack, your highest low rated player could, at this point in time, could be an 83. You could open your 44 red pack and get an 83 rated card as your first card. That's mental. And that's why I feel like EA should restructure the rewards, because somebody who gets 112 wins is essentially entitled to the same as somebody who could potentially get 170 wins. I understand they're free. You know, we've been through this so many times. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair that EA is saying someone who can get Gold 2 every week can literally get the same monthly reward as someone who can get Elite 1 every week but still miss out on the top 100 monthly. I find that to be absolutely shocking. So yeah, I really, really hope EA are listening to the community. They've listened well to us for Foot Champs. You know, they changed it from 2 days to 3 days. You know, they get the rewards out pretty quick every week. I think the weekly and the time permitted is good. They changed the daily knockouts to like 2 a week over 48 hours each tournament. They changed the amount of entries you get from like 3 some tournaments and 4 some tournaments and 7 some tournaments to just 8 each time. I think they've done well. I think though they need to listen to us again here and start structuring the rewards differently. Or just don't, like, I don't understand why it tells me, and I said this before, I don't understand why it tells me Elite 3 is 112 wins and Elite 1 is 126 wins. Why are you telling me the difference when it's exactly the same reward? Just say Elite is 112 wins and that's it, you're in Elite. What's the point of segregating it? I don't know. Next comment is from Linus Nordal. Says, hi Nep, if you qualify for the Weekend League by holding Division 2 or Division 1 during a Weekend League, do you then get qualified to the next Weekend League? Yes, you do. So right now I'm playing in Division 1 and the Weekend League is running at the time we're recording this. If I finished off this Division 1, because by the end of this video you'll see I'm guaranteed to hold in a division. If I literally went and just played out the rest of the games now, I would already be automatically qualified for next weekend's Weekend League. So yes, if you're thinking about like through the week, if you like, let's say you've already qualified for Foot Champs and you're thinking like, hey, let me just go into divisions through the Foot Champs and re-qualify, or let's say you like, you know, through the week you get yourself to a point where you're guaranteed your one game left in Division 1, and a draw or a loss or a win will require you to hold it or win it. Then yeah, you can literally just play that game at any point after the Weekend League starts, and boom, you are qualified for the following Weekend League. Max Henning says, hey Nep, do you think I will notice a difference between 8 Chem Smalling and 10 Chem Smalling? The same thing with my Chiellini that I also have on 8 Chem. Thank you if you read my comment. I don't think you'll notice a difference. No, I don't even know if there is that much of a difference. Like, it is absolutely negligible. Let me go into Foothead real quick and get Smalling. I'm going to assume that you have, let's go with what most people would have on the Smalling, and that's an anchor chemistry style. So with an anchor chemistry style, on 10 chem he gets 7 pace, 9 defending and 8 physical. And on 8 chemistry he gets 5 pace, 7 defending and 6 physical boost. It's literally a point where you're losing out on like 2 or 3 in-game stats per parameter. Like, it's gonna. I can't imagine that you'd notice a difference. So yeah, feel free to play him on 8 chem. I'm not saying there isn't a difference. It might be in 1 in 100 or 1 in 300 games, it might be the case of, hey, if you actually did have him on 10 chem, he might well have just got that interception that stopped you from conceding that goal. But I can't imagine it's going to be to the point where it's like noticeable, to the point where you're like, oh my god, Smalling's bad, because you could have him on 1 chem, he'd probably still do a great job. Lackey Stiffle says, Nep, I've been using the 4-3-2-1 on FIFA. When I tried the 4-1-2-1-2-2, I won Division 1 for the first time with these. Please try this formation. I think it could take your gameplay to the next level. I tried the 4-1-2-1-2-2, dude, and I got relegated from Division 1 with it. Certain formations just work better for certain people, and for me, I've tried a lot of formations this year. I've tried the 3-4-2-1, I've tried the 3-5-2, the 4-1-2-1-2, both versions, a few versions of the 4-3-3, the 4-3-1-2, and I always just keep finding my way back to the 4-3-2-1. For me personally, it's just the best formation there is, I'm happy to keep plugging along with it. Yotam Raviv says, what happened about Diego Costa, Kante and Matic? A week ago they were the perfect midfield, now you don't use any of them, because a week ago they were the perfect midfield. A week ago I didn't have Blue Chadley, Blue Chan and Blue Fernandinho, because EA have like pretty much just released them through that Christmas period. I'm always looking to improve and upgrade, and when I got the Emre Can card, I was just blown away by how good he was. Like, he just, I put him in a team because he's got very similar, like, certain attributes to Matic. So I put him in a team, and what I wanted to do, the reason why I went with Chadley over Kante, is because although Kante was good and very good, the price of Chadley was like super low. And as an attacking-minded midfielder, even though he has medium work rates, he's the like creative midfielder of the 3 for me. He has better shooting and such, better dribbling. Kante, I was always felt left short with Kante. Like, I get into good goal scoring opportunities, good at both long range and short range, and Kante would always let me down with his finishing, even in that inform card. So I tried Chadley for a few games. I tried Chan over Matic, and I loved him. So what's the point of changing, you know? I then started playing with Chadley over Kante. Amazing. I then put Fernandinho in instead of I put Chadley in instead of Kante, and then I put Kante in the middle and put Chan on the left hand side. So I was basically opting of Kante over Matic, and then I got Fernandinho, and I tried him for a few games, and I loved him. So I thought, why not cash out on Kante? You know, I bought him for 250k, I sold him for 290k, I made myself a nice like 25k I think profit. He played 300 games for me. He did a great service to the club. It was just time for a change. I'm always looking to improve and upgrade this team where possible, but I just don't want to do it for the sake of doing it. You actually saw me at some point in this video sell the Eriksen. I used Eriksen as a centre midfielder. I bought him initially as an investment for 149,000. I used him as a centre midfielder. I didn't like him. I didn't find him to be very good at all. Definitely no better than people that I already had. Like, if I was going to use that Eriksen, I may as well have used my red Firmino, because he was doing just the same job, right? So I thought, you know who I love up front? I love Heung-min Son. I love Son because of the 5-star weak foot. So I thought, let me try playing Eriksen at striker with a Hunter card on, boost that pace up to like 92 or 93, and try and abuse his weak foot as well. Played 2 games with him at striker. He didn't even touch the ball, man. Didn't get a goal, didn't get an assist. He was just didn't fit the bill for me. So I sold him on. I think after that I bought Henrik Mkhitaryan. I don't think I showed how much I bought for him here, but I paid like 208,000 coins, I believe, for him. I didn't like Mkhitaryan. Again, I bought Mkhitaryan because I wanted to try something new, put someone in with a 5-star weak foot again. After I tried him at striker and I tried him at right forward. At striker, Hazard was just a better player, and then at right forward, Walcott was just a better player. So what's the point? I want to improve this team, and I'm happy to try players, and I've tried so many players, tried loads of players in loads of different positions, but if they're not doing notably better than the people that I already have there, there's no point wasting the coins on them. And right now for me, Son, Hazard and Walcott as a trio up front are just so deadly, there is no reason to change. Like, look at Son there, boom, holds off the defender, what a finish, the 5-star weak foot again, just coming up massive for me. But yeah, so my midfield, I tried a few players new. I tried Fernandinho, loved him. Tried Emre Can, loved him. Tried Nasser Shadley, loved him. You know, I got that screamer, not the screamer, the SBC Bellerin at right back, loved him. I put in Winston Reid at centre back that I packed in my rewards in the last episode, and I played him alongside Smalling. I was initially going to play him alongside Smalling first and then Bailly. I can't change it, dude. I cannot change it. I think I've played about 35 games now with Winston Reid, much prolonged past what we see here, and I've lost one of those. Like, the centre-back pairing of Reid and Smalling is just ridiculous. So, you know, there's no point me trying Bailly and Reid, because Smalling and Reid are just good enough. There's no reason to change them. I've also got Clichy at left back, and people say, why not Azpilicueta, why not Baines, why not Luke Shaw, why not this guy, why not inform Walker again? It's again a situation where it's like Clichy's not doing anything to make me think I need to improve this area. You know, Clichy is playing fantastically. I never ever concede a goal and think, damn, you know what, if I had a different left back, I probably wouldn't have conceded that. I never think that. I never feel that with Clichy. I played over 100 games with Gal Clichy at left back. I think for me personally, and this was kind of like what AA had suggested to me when, because AA loved Clichy as well, is that he's got medium work rates, so he is rarely out of position. And even though he only has 83 pace on his main stat, with a shadow card he goes up to like 93 pace, really good defending, medium work rates. Just no complaints, you know, no complaints with Gal Clichy at all. I mean, I would be interested to get informed Carl Walker back in that left back spot at some point or another. But right now, until I like truly sit there and think, you know what, I got X amount of wins this weekend league. If I had this player instead, I would have got Y amount of wins. Then yeah, sure, I'll be happy to go and change him. But until then, there is no reason at all. Ben Hammond says, I bought Inform Mane. If he gets a winter upgrade, will my Inform be upgraded? It depends on how big the upgrades are from EA. What they've done this year is they've given huge upgrades on the initial Informs, to the point where if they actually upgrade the regular card, they may not meet the criteria that bumps the Inform up. For example, like Forsberg has, I think, like a 75 rated card. Or let's say, for example, a 75 rated player that gets an Inform will get an 80 rated Inform, because for gold Informs, 80 is the minimum that EA are doing. And that's 3 months in now. There's not a single 76, 77, 78 or 79 rated Inform in the game. So they're doing 80 rated as the minimum. So if somebody's got a 76 rated base card, or a 75 rated base card, which is the lowest gold standard, and then they get an Inform that's 80 rated, and then they get another Inform that's 82 rated, another Inform that's 84 rated, and then they get a winter upgrade, if that winter upgrade only takes them to like a 78 or a 79 rated, it doesn't meet the threshold of the first Inform to push the other Informs up. So there won't be an upgrade to that Inform. It will just be an upgrade to the base card, and that's it. So I think people that have invested in players like Forsberg, and I mean specifically Forsberg, I think they're going to come unstuck, because I don't think he's going to get an upgrade big enough that ends up bumping up his Informs. So be careful with who you invest in for the January upgrades or the winter upgrades. Stephen Burnett says, when are EA going to release more one-to-watch cards? They are not going to release more one-to-watch cards. The whole point of the one-to-watches was they were there for the first week of FIFA, and they would be there, you know, upgraded as the year went. I think, personally, I don't think the one-to-watch cards are that important to this game. You know, they very few of them have even received upgrades. So many of them have had injuries, and they're not relevant to Team of the Year and Team of the Season. They're not relevant to Team of the Group Stage. To Screamer cards. They are literally only relevant to weekly Informs. So if you have a one-to-watch card that performs really well in the Champions League week in, week out, but does nothing in the league, he's never going to get upgraded. So I personally don't find the one-to-watch cards to be very good investments at all, basically. I think they're very bad. Harris Nisar says, should we invest in 84 rated players? Because during Team of the Year, They're probably going to do an SBC to stop the crash, or should we buy them right after the SBCs? Yeah, invest in them, not now. When this Team of the Week 15 SBC disappears and the New Year's special packs are out, because undoubtedly there'll be lightning rounds on New Year's, after all's died down and the 84s go back down to like 1 to 3k and the 83s go back down to 900 coins to 1500 coins, it would be worth investing your whole trade pile. You know, get 100 or get like 95 of them there, so you've got 5 spots left for any duplicates you need to sell. Get a whole set, buy every single 83, 84, and even to an extent some 85 cards, and have a copy in your club and as many copies as you can afford on the bench, because there will come a time where EA will drop a SBC that requires 83, 84, and 85 rated cards, and you will cash in. You will absolutely cash in. Christian Lean says, yo, because of the low driven shot, wouldn't it be more beneficial to swap around the left and right forward so that they shoot on their stronger foot? It depends who your left and right forward is and why they're important. For me, that's why, like, so many people tell me to use Son at striker and Hazard at left forward. I don't want to, for the exact reason that when I cut in, I shoot mostly with Son's left foot, which is his weak foot, but because he has a 5-star weak foot, it works. Hazard has a 4-star weak foot, and going through the middle, I'm able to position him to the point where I can always use his strong foot. And then if I'm in a position where I literally cannot use his strong foot, he's still got a 4-star weak foot anyway. And then even though Theo Walcott only has a 3-star weak foot, as we see him on the screen right there, that is the team that I played the games with, by the way. Yeah, even though Theo Walcott only has a 3-star weak foot, because of the way I personally attack, I cut inside with Walcott and angle him to that point where I use his right foot and cut it across the goal. So for me, I think that's why I prefer Theo over Fekir. And ultimately why I'm not using Lacazette right now is simply because of Theo Walcott is considerably better than Fekir, to the point where it makes it worth using him. And that's why, you know, I tried Mkhitaryan, he just wasn't successful for me. I tried Eriksen, he wasn't successful for me. But other than that, I mean, this team, as I say, like, this team is just playing fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Duncan Hay says, hey, Nep, does a manager from Holland in the Premier League give the pie 2 chem points or just 1? If anyone reads this, know as well, that'd be grateful if you could tell me, because I'm thinking about getting informed to pie for the right wing spot. But if he gets 2 chem points from the manager and 1 from loyalty, I can get him to 9 chem. You are wrong, basically. He only gets 1 chem point. You can only get up to 1 chem point from the manager, either as the league or as the nationality. However, I think personally that EA should do like inform managers or managers of the month or something, you know, like the BPL manager of the month or whatever, and just generally inform managers that do give 2 chem points. So instead of just for the league, also for the nation. So you can, you know, get away with using a few more creative teams and still get relatively very good chemistry. But yeah, unfortunately at this point in time, it's just 1 point only is a maximum. Angel Gaming says, hey Nep, you have so much great players, why don't you just make a second team? Love your vids, keep it up. I don't use a second team because I like to know my team inside out, and I feel like I do with this team. If I had a second team, I would then have to try and find the perfect balance for that second team. You know, I would like, what I love about the team, using the same team for like, what for me it's been like 300 to 400 games for quite a lot of my players, is that I know exactly how they play and I know exactly their strengths and weaknesses, which I think is why, for me personally, I know very, very quickly whether or not a player that I'm trying out is better than the player I already had there. You know, I used Eriksen as striker for 2 games and I just instantly knew that he wasn't good enough for me, because I know how well Hazard did there, or Lacazette did there, or Theo Walcott did there, or Raheem Sterling did there. And it's like, if I build a second team, I've then got to go through another 300-400 games with that second team, which is going to take twice as long because now I've got 2 teams. So it's going to take like 800 total games worth of gameplay to try and find a team and a balance that suits me well. You know, things like work rates and the way players act and react in game are very important. And if you can get to a point where you know your team inside out, so it's just muscle memory, you're going to end up becoming a much better FIFA player for it. So that's why I don't have a second team. Rajesh says, Net, why did you drop Kante? Anyway, love your videos. I actually think I covered that already, why I got rid of Kante. Raya Abner says, when I get upset at the game and yell that it was A's, I'm referring to a broken game mechanic that I failed to compensate for. I find that now I'm improving just by allowing myself to learn from my own mistake, and it's really helped my gameplay overall. And I would totally agree with that. If you look at every goal you concede, and every time you miss an easy chance, and instead of sitting there and blaming the game and thinking about this and thinking about that, but actually looking at what truly caused that to happen, you'll definitely be able to better yourself. You know, there are times where I have games where I should be destroying people and I miss so many chances, and when I go back and watch those chances, at the point that I take the shot, sometimes I've got an easy cutback on, but no, I take that low driven shot because it serves me so well, so I try that again. So the next time I'm in that sort of situation, in a tough game, I now have got the mental fortitude to think to myself, okay, maybe this time is the time to try a cutback. And if, like he said, you know, if you actually just, instead of sitting there thinking this game is out to get me, if you actually sit there and think, what could I have done to change that? If there is aids in the game, if there is handicap in the game or scripting in the game, try and think about what you can do to overcome that instead of just blaming it for your losses, and you will become a much better player for it. I know that even though I have not as good win rate as I did last year because of FUT Champs, I know that this year in FIFA, this is definitely the best I have ever been at any FIFA. So I'm very happy with that. Anyway, I completed a few more of the SBCs for the Russian League. I think I'm like 3 teams short of completing the whole thing now. I didn't get anything that great in the packs. I got Aurier that I sold on straight away just because he's going for like 3.5, 4K. So I thought I'd make that money instantly. But this, guys, is going to signal the end of the video for today. If you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.